Blaze, if you would have said to them that at three-quarter time you're going to be shooting 35% from the field and you're not going to have James Harvey and you're not going to have Chris Goulding and that you're going to be up by 9 against the Melbourne Tigers, they would have said, you're dreaming. Well, that dream is coming true because that is the reality on the back of an explosive rebounding display, 43 to 18. Just really providing in those effort plays. Good execution by the Gold Coast Blaze.
Petrie with his fall away gets the bounce and rolls it in. And the Gold Coast Blaze are firmly in the driver's seat of this basketball game unless the Melbourne Tigers can come up with some productive offense and some stops. Really casual pass that was deflected.
1-2-2 zone defense by the Gold Coast Blaze, just trying to protect the middle and force the Tigers into some perimeter shots. It's a tough one. Good defensive possession by the Gold Coast Blaze.
Mixing up those defense for the Blaze. De Leon waits for his screen. He'll slow it up. Gibson. Not a great angle to get it to Will Hudson.
Steve, when you're struggling offensively, but you've got guys like Mark Worthington, Adam Gibson, or Idris De Leon, when things break down, you've got guys who just create stuff off their own bat and get something done. The Melbourne Tigers don't have those options. Like, you look on the floor here, who is just going to, just outside of the structure, catch fire? He may be one in Cam Fregar, but all the other players on the court need structure to get good scoring opportunities.
Very good point. And the more they get away from the structure, the lower number we're going to see in this quarter.
Well, they're down to 37% from the field.
De Leon. Greer. He's trying to chase down Idris De Leon.
5. Tommy Greer, foul.
Get another look. His ability to just stop on a dime. And finally gets by Tommy Greer.
He's got a lot of little herky, jerky, shaking, bakey type action, hasn't he?
And he can shoot.
Yes.
It's another thing if a guy has all those hesitations and great moves but can't shoot the ball. Not as dangerous.
When you got guys like that, Steve, you just got to take one side away from them. Just don't let them change you over and take the odds either to help or that you're just going to be able to slide your feet and keep them in front. But if you give them choices, you've got a world of pain. Just sloppy play. Nothing clean about any of the offensive sets the Melbourne Tigers have had.
Dillon on the drive, can't get it to go. And Gold Coast Blaze can't secure the rebound. And Melbourne Tigers timeout on the floor to them because they need to discuss some offense. Find themselves down by 11. With 7:44 to go here in the fourth. Tigers need some answers, and they need them right now.
Looking for a new set of tyres? It's hard to know where to start. So Yokohama have made it easy. If you want a long-lasting everyday tyre, choose green. For extra safety, choose blue. And for high performance, choose red. Ask your tyre dealer about Yokohama, the easiest tyres to choose.
Tigers, you can hear the desperation in their timeout. They need transition baskets, and they need them now. Trevor Gleason with the remark that we don't have time to come down.
Well, they don't.
Their stuff.
But early on in that timeout, he identified what we've noticed as well, how everything's coming off the dribble and not getting it through hands. It just stalls and allows the defense to adjust. And every time someone does get it, they're going up against a very established defense because the ball movement has been so slow. You've got to give a lot of credit to the Gold Coast Blaze. They've mixed it up well between their zone and man-to-man, kept the Melbourne Tigers guessing. And there's a bad miss down low in a important possession by Liam Rush.
Made a good move. Just it was like the ball didn't come out of his palm. He didn't come close. Good pass to Gibson. over the top of Liam Rush. Made a tough shot look easy.
If you just tuned in to the last quarter and we had to ask you which team played on Friday night and which team didn't, Melbourne Tigers look like not only that they would have been playing on Friday, it looked like they've been playing the last 6 days in a row. Dorsey comes in with the short jump shot. And I thought fatigue may have been a factor for the Gold Coast Blaze, but they've shown no signs of that at all tonight.
Worthington banging it with Cam Tragar. Gets into the middle. Worthington thought he was fouled, but even though it was put up there pretty hard, it managed to roll in. Dorsey in rhythm outside the three-point line. That doesn't go.
They're usually one and done, the Melbourne Tigers. They're rebounding tonight. They've got 19 as opposed to 47. And even when the Gold Coast Blaze have been in this zone, they're still continuing to aggressively attack the boards tonight, which they had to do. With this smaller lineup they go with, in particular the game, they go with their 3-point guards at that.
Khalid comes up short. Ubaka gets it back from Walker. He pulls up for 3. That's long. That'll stay here. Petrie thought he was held. That's why he couldn't secure it. Dillon throws it up to Walker. He just got loose with it, lost control. De Leon, hesitation dribble, lays it up and over the rim.
Steve, right now the Melbourne Tigers, sure they're still continuing to play to win, but they're almost at a point where they've got to start to think about just keeping.
No more. That's it. That's it. No more. That's your warning.
Joey Wright upset. Not sure why. Team leads it by 15. Might have thought there might have been a bit of contact on that last penetration.
Dorsey with the jam. Boy, he doesn't need much space. Explosive on the baseline twice tonight.
Wasn't it? Have a look at the replay down low. Just behind the backboard, it still goes up. Way above Mark Worthington and tucks it in with the 2 hands.
See if that can ignite the Melbourne Tigers. De Leon with the floater, and he comes back with the answer. Blaze have come up with that every single time the Melbourne Tigers do something, they match it. Walker. Dorsey puts it on the floor, gets it to Ubaka in rhythm outside the 3-point line. Walker with the offensive rebound.
Number 1.
Lucas Walker coming in and showing what we haven't seen a lot of from the Melbourne Tigers, just that sheer determination. Look, Walker almost on the 3-point line, comes barreling in and gets the reward. And Adam Gibson with the sacrificial foul.
He's got to throw it to the team. You can't, mate. I'm just telling you, this is delay a game. I'm telling you so we avoid it, okay? Okay? Leave it alone or you throw it to the team.
Lucas Walker's only played the 9 minutes so far tonight. And as Melbourne Tigers try to find someone to give him a spark at both ends of the floor, really, Steve.
No, or not even at the foul line. Lucas Walker misses them both. Blaze playing those 3 guards. Petrie. Ooh, may have traveled. And Ubaka gets the rebound, brings it up. Tragar. Dorsey comes back after his man Adam Gibson stayed for the double team on Cam Tragar. Still the Blaze with a 13-point lead, 66 to 53 as the Melbourne Tigers are starting to run out of time.
What's just in?
They are running out of time, Stephen, but I just sensed that Joey Wright just wanted to call that time out. He doesn't want any accident to happen. They're in a commanding position, leading it by 13 points. But he understands that as much as control they have of this game, if any one of these players like Ron Dorsey can catch fire and they start spraying in and knocking down some threes, it can turn very, very quickly.
Well, the Melbourne Tigers, we talked about how big of a game this is for them.
And that's the disappointing thing, Steve, is that their actions as far as their intensity and doing the little things on the defensive end and the glass hasn't reflected the urgency that they should have. They're 9-8 on the season. They've still got a very tough road trip coming up. They've got to go to the Gold Coast again this week, next Saturday night. So it's not going to get any easier for them. It's a real tough month of January. They played 9 games in the month of January. Then they played 9 games over February and March. So it gets a little easier for them. But if you dig yourself a hole, which a home loss like this is doing exactly that, they're hard to catch up.
Worthington gets it to Petrie.
Oh, and unsportsmanlike's been called.
Unsportsmanlike, 2 shots. So, hey, 2 shots. Hey, no more. No more. Hey, no more.
Still an unsportsmanlike foul on Cam Trigard.
Hey, that's it.
Cam Trigard is
more.
not happy.
No more. That's it. No more. Don't get another one.
Cam Trigard, there's no doubting the foul, but he's just upset that they've called an unsportsmanlike. And that was probably because there wasn't a real attempt at the ball. There wasn't anything vicious about what he was doing, but really no attempt at the ball, and the referee made the judgment that it should be called unsportsmanlike.
Yeah, and sometimes in a lopsided game, you want to make sure that you don't have anything real heavy. Yeah,
There's not a lot in that, is there?
There's not a lot in it, but he did make a real good play for the ball.
I think in the context of the game, it's probably an incorrect decision. And they pay because Mark Worthington turns it into a 4-point play for the Gold Coast Blaze by knocking down the 3.
Lead all the way up to 17. Crowd just have had nothing to cheer about tonight. As Tommy Greer misses his 3-point attempt. Blaze will run a bit of clock. No urgency to what they're doing. Worthington. One of those Jack Sikma type moves down on the block.
There is absolutely nothing going on with the Melbourne Tigers. I mean, this is just a terribly poor offensive set when you're down by 17 and 3 minutes and 15 seconds. Oh, hello, Petrie and Trigard bring about a little bit of excitement into the game.
Coming down. Hey, give up. Thanks, mate. Thank you. Got it.
Walk away.
No, I didn't, mate. I didn't see it.
You both come together, Anthony, and you pushed him. No way.
Oh,
Unsportsmanlike, 1-7.
Well, you know, being up 17, you just can't really do that.
no, it's not, but
I'm just telling you both.
I think the referee might have missed the first action and caught the second, and then
Come out.
you should... there was a little...
Yeah, he gave him...
Just a little bit of a head movement by...
Yeah, he got him... He pressed his head up against him.
And that's what Anthony Petrie was complaining about. But in where we are right now with a 17-point lead, you just accept that.
Yeah,
Just take the little Liverpool kiss.
In this stuff, all right? So talk it up. Tommy Greer's in there. Bill leaving? I left him on that last slide. He wanted to do the same. Yeah, let's do that. All right, instead of coming off pass, we're coming off Greer. All right? Weak side's got to dive, though, and get to the hole. He's going to slash. He does a good job of slashing. The other thing on that is when the shot goes up, we got to get Career off the boards because he's going to go, okay?
Big guys, help big guys. Career's on you, go Career. I'll go. Career go. Are we still zoning off, mate?
Yeah, we're zoning on Max, only on Max. On this, we're manning up, though, and we're fine. We're switching everything, okay? Watch double flare action over the top and a dive, all right? Hey, watch the guys circle in the big pop and rip, okay? Watch the, and they circle in screen, big pop and rip.
Okay, D.
All right, go. D, 1, 2, 3, D.
You can see a pretty calm Joey Wright in that timeout, and as he should be, it will take a miracle or a combination of brain freezes by the players of the Gold Coast Blaze for them to lose this. And Joey Wright does the right thing, I think, as well, and just gives Anthony Petrie a little spell to make sure there's not too much emotion running through his blood at the moment that causes him to make another mistake.
Well,
You can see why he's a little agitated.
yeah, you can see, of course. You know, and that's usually what happens when someone reacts. You know, and often the first thing is missed, but up 17, like you say, you got to wear that. Just walk away and be happy with the victory. Rush finds a gap from Mark Worthington. A little out of position. That one goes. Three-point play, get it down to 12. There's 3 minutes left. Crazier things have happened.
Absolutely. For sure they have, Steve, but it's hard to see it when the Melbourne Tigers shooting at 37% and 55 points for the game. And it's not just those numbers alone, it's the way in which they've gone about it. Their strategy on the offensive end has been, in my view, grossly misguided.
And boy, you're not going to get anything with missed free throws. And the Melbourne Tigers have missed plenty. They are 6 for 15 from the foul line tonight. Skips it to Daniel Dillon, just over the top. When it rains, it pours. The crowd just oohing it on.
This is by far the worst performance of the Melbourne Tigers so far this season. And never good when those types of things happen at home. Never good when they happen at all. But at home in such a big game, this will be two losses in a row at home.
In front of a sellout crowd, too. The Tigers are doing a great job of bringing the people in. Just a little up and down on the performances. But they're not alone. Plenty of teams doing that this year. De Leon with his floater. That's good. Just gets into the middle of the defense and shoots an easy one. Ubaka trying to get his three ball to go, and he finally gets one to go down. 72-58. 2 minutes to go to the end of regulation.
Gold Coast Blaze will be in no hurry. They'll wait till the shot clock's at the very least in single digits. There's a foot violation, and if that's a violation, they get a reset. Get it from the side, so it'll reset to 14 seconds, which kills off a little bit more time for the Melbourne Tigers.
Kadee has it up top. Looking to turn the corner. Extra pass goes to Adam Gibson from the baseline. Dillon turns on the Jets. He just runs over Jason Kadee again. Worthington will take some more time off the clock.
Got to give a lot of credit to the Gold Coast Blaze, coming off a tough loss on Friday against the Perth Wildcats, losing Chris Goulding. Hopefully not for too long. He's got to have some x-rays done to see the extent of his knee injury. But this has been a real character-building win for the Gold Coast Blaze.
Excellent. Time, mate. Time out, mate.
Joey Wright is not happy. He's called a timeout. 108 up 12.
electricity cheerleaders.
Here we go, boys. Let's go.
Yeah, I want to get in there. I want to hear this.
Yeah, he just wants to make sure there's no career nights for anyone in the last minute.
2 times in the on ball, you waited. We run that quick screen for a reason. You come off that, he's got to jump that side. Now you rip and go. You came off that, you held it, and then we get bad decisions, all right? Come on, smart. It is no reason to be conservative here. No reason to be conservative. Play basketball. What's available, take advantage of it, okay? We'll run this one the next time, all right? Out to the corner, big, okay? Gibbo's coming on this one. He's setting it, and we're going to curl it, okay? Let's get Gibbo on that one, okay? And this goes...
Hold up here. Hold up in the corner.
Hey, go show zone right now. We're right into Texas. Let's go. Here we go.
Can Melbourne even show zone? There's 1:08 to go. Can you show zone being down 12?
I think he was talking about he wants to show zone here as if the Gold Coast Blaze are going to play a zone, and then not that they really need too much trickery to contain the Melbourne Tigers tonight.
No, it has not been their night. 4 of 19 outside the three-point line to go with their 39% shooting overall. Ibaka with some contact with De Leon. Ibaka Trigot, but he did walk first.
A little shuffling of the feet as he tried to make that hook pass around the defense.
Worthington. De Leon just trying to run some clock off. Finds Stephen Hoare. Now he puts it on the floor. De Leon is clipped from behind by Ron Dorsey, who had been knocked off balance.
30 seconds to go, Steve.
Hang in there.
Before this one winds up for a very impressive win to the Gold Coast Blaze on the road. And no James Harvey. This has been a very good performance by Idriss De Leon, particularly in the first half. He's up to 20. Can't knock that one down. 7 of 12 from the field, 8 rebounds and 2 assists. And the only blemish really being the 4 turnovers. But he set the tone early on with his scoring and just his enthusiasm to get in there and pick up some long rebounds.
Yeah, and he had 7 rebounds early, too. He did set the tone. Super hustle. And you said it early. It just seems as if the Gold Coast Blaze just want the ball more.
They did. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. Desperate times calls for desperate measures, and Trevor Gleason would be hoping to see a similar response from the Melbourne Tigers this week.
De Leon is fouled by Daniel Dillon. Even though they're down 13, don't want it to end this way. De Leon won't go to the foul line because they're not in the bonus yet. And that should be this should be the last play of the game. Gold Coast Blaze just too good for the Melbourne Tigers tonight. Hold them to just 60 points. Hold them to 36% shooting. 20